Today on Investigate TV Plus, handpicked to deceive the Nazis, yet their weapons were mostly an illusion.
They're under fire, and yet they're using inflatables. They're using sound effects. They are playing make-believe, for heaven's sake.
The mission stayed a secret for decades.
The fact that he was able to hold the ultimate secret that long was always astounding to me.
How a small unit of soldiers used deception to save thousands, and the steps their families have taken to make sure their legacy lives on.
Then, after years of pain, one patient finds a solution.
Is there any way out of this?
We take an in-depth look at the groundbreaking therapy that could rewrite the future for patients with a crippling disease.
Plus, one coach faces his toughest opponent yet.
I wish I had cancer instead. That's how crazy a diagnosis it is.
How he's using support from his team to battle a deadly disease while still inspiring young athletes.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus. Of all the stories of heroics from World War II, you've probably never heard about the group of American men who saved tens of thousands of lives without killing anyone. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. That special unit is now known as the Ghost Army, a government operation kept classified for decades. So top secret, most of the men who served in it took their hidden mission to their grave.
Reporter Kristen Crowley sheds light on the little-known unit that used deception, creativity, and bravery to help win the war.
This was called an Ike jacket because Eisenhower designed them.
Only a few mementos of the late John Joseph Williams remain from his time in World War II. His son John and grandson Michael cherish the small collection.
When I was a little boy, I played with this stuff. I would wear this thing when I was a little boy.
But what they value most aren't his things from war, rather, his stories.
He was at Omaha Beach. Grandpa drove a truck or a Jeep through the Arc de Triomphe.
He did tell me about D-Day, not terribly graphically.
So your dad was pretty open about his time in the
Oh
military?
yeah, he loved to tell stories. The fact that he was able to hold the ultimate secret that long was always astounding to me.
The ultimate secret John's talking about was held from the world for decades. Williams was part of a highly classified group of soldiers tasked with fighting the enemy, not with weapons, but with deception. Their tanks, guns, and planes were all fake, made of inflatable rubber. Their name? The Ghost Army.
This is the story of a World War II deception unit that used inflatable tanks, sound effects, and illusion to fool the enemy on the battlefields of Europe.
Author Rick Beyer wrote a book about the Ghost Army, captivated by their unique war story. He says members were handpicked based on high IQs and artistic talent, crucial to pulling off the deception.
And they're under fire, and yet they're using inflatables. They're using sound effects. They are playing make-believe, for heaven's sake.
Through more than a dozen missions, they made the Germans believe there were tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of soldiers in one area, oftentimes leading the Nazis to retreat, when in reality, the Ghost Army was no more than 1,100 men.
So the concept is to make something very small look like it's very large.
Yeah, or make a unit look like it's in one place when it's really still back on the ships unloading, 200 miles behind you.
The Ghost Army was kept classified until 1996. And that's when the elder Williams was finally able to share his whole war story.
What they had done had never been done before in warfare, and they were very successful. And I'm not even sure if Grandpa truly understood how big it was. I would love to know if he did, but I doubt it since he was top secret for 50 plus years.
Now their missions and accomplishments are no longer a secret. Quite the opposite. They're on full display for all to see at a traveling Ghost Army exhibit.
So does this actually look like what they looked
So
like?
yeah, this is an M7 Priest, and it looks pretty much just like the inflatables that they had, although this one's about 3/4 of actual size.
It's in good shape for being in a
I know.
basement.
That's because he wouldn't let anyone touch it.
Ghost Army descendant Karen Skiba donated her father's jacket to the exhibit.
He told me once if they were found, he always carried dynamite in the Sonic truck, that if they got close enough, they would have had to blow up everything.
Karen's dad was a sonic half-track operator, faking sounds like these with a giant boombox. Karen says her father wasn't just proud to fool the enemy.
He didn't ever have to kill anybody or even shoot his gun. His job was to save lives both American and German lives.
It's estimated the secret unit saved up to 30,000 lives, and the enemy never discovered them.
I wish more people would get to know about the Ghost Army. They've saved so many lives, and no one really knows what they did.
Until recently, Randall Schrader was one of them.
I just loved him. And I miss him. But I get emotional also because I feel a little badly that I let so much time go by where I didn't really pay attention to what he did.
His father, Colonel Edgar W. Schrader, was a Ghost Army vet. Randall didn't realize that until a few months before coming to this museum in St. Louis.
Is it turned on? Yeah, I think so. You think so?
He started connecting the dots when he rewatched home video of his dad sharing his war stories, talking vaguely about the Ghost Army, never mentioning it by name.
Bunch of malarkey. I didn't see how it would work.
So he goes in thinking this is a bunch of malarkey. What did your father think after he had served with the Ghost Army?
He acknowledged that it worked, you know. His initial notion that it wouldn't work, he changed that.
When you walk through this exhibit, what do you feel?
Joy and sadness at the same time. Joy that the word has finally got out about the Ghost Army. You're gonna make me cry. And sadness that my dad, that my dad can't be here to see it.
Most of the Ghost Army vets will never see it. All but 5 of them have died. But their stories live on in this exhibit and through their families.
While they were just sitting there acting like they were a bigger force than they were, his dad found a hilltop to get on and he could get a radio signal, and he listened to the World Series while they were doing that.
They're deceiving the enemy with these fake tanks and these fake guns, and your dad is listening to the World Series.
He's listening to the World Series, yeah. But you had to know Dad.
And now the world can know his dad, and so many others who made a difference in the war, who are no longer the hidden ghosts of history.
Many families felt their loved ones didn't get enough credit for what they did in the Ghost Army. So they, along with Rick Beyer, pushed Congress to give them special recognition, and it worked.
At this point, I would like to invite, finally, so that we can all honor them appropriately, the 3 veterans to the stage to accept this medal on behalf of all members of the Ghost Army.
On March 21st, 2024, Congress awarded the Congressional Gold Medal to the Ghost Army. It's the highest distinction it can bestow. 3 of the Ghost Army vets were at the ceremony in the U.S. Capitol to accept the medal.
I'm very proud and happy to be here to receive this honor.
The families we spoke to got replica medals from that day, one of the only mementos they have of the Ghost Army, because the top secret nature of the unit kept veterans from having any items related to it.
One of the reasons the Ghost Army stayed classified for so long was because of its success. The military thought it could be useful in future wars.
Another interesting fact about the Army, many of the artists recruited to help pull off the illusion went on to become famous after the war, including fashion designer Bill Blass.
For more information on the Ghost Army exhibit, visit InvestigateTV.com and search Ghost Army. Still to come, a life-changing diagnosis threatened to sideline his coaching career. But one man found strength beyond his physical body.
I know it's scary, but you can do it.
Then later, one woman refuses to give up on troublesome farm animals.
I wish I could do more, because there's the need out there.
How she sees potential when others see problems.
Many gymnasts spend a lifetime perfecting their routines, but for a former gymnast turned coach, a life-changing diagnosis forced him to improvise.
Rob Cervic has ALS, a nervous system disease that causes loss of muscle control and gets worse with time. Although he's now confined to a wheelchair, he still found a way to dedicate his life to coaching with some help from his gymnastics community.
Reporter Nick King has a story that will inspire us all.
There's no amount of training or strength or padding to soften certain blows life has in store.
It's the worst news you could ever hear. I wish I had cancer. Instead, that's how crazy a diagnosis it is.
Okay.
You really mourn your own death, kind of, at the beginning of it.
But with the right people around, encouraging,
You decide to get back to living life.
most of Rob Cervik's life
Little sip.
has been spent here.
Thank you, sir, for restaurant.
He just says, I got to get in. Every day, I got to get in. I'm going to be there.
At Aspire Kids Sports Center in Chandler, Cervik is a gymnastics coach.
Everybody in the gym is impacted by him, every single person.
His body is battling a losing fight against ALS. Cervik no longer has control over his arms or legs.
It's just kind of always getting a little bit worse, and we're always trying to figure out ways to make things better for him and more comfortable for him so that he can continue to come into the gym. This is what he lives for.
Wrist on top.
The 47-year-old is losing his voice, too.
Push.
So at practice,
Good.
sitting in one of two old recliners, he talks through a headset,
Hips up was better.
which is connected to a speaker
Warm up clean.
attached to a mannequin that's outfitted with a picture of Cervik's face.
Good. Find something you love. You'll never work a day in your life. That's the way I feel. And that's why I'm still here. I know it's scary, but you can do it.
He's got such a great attitude.
I believe in you.
That just kind of blows you away.
All this in the face of a deadly disease that will eventually lead to loss of all muscle movement.
Only thing different is he can't walk. That's the only thing that's different. His mind and his spirit, anything like that, nothing's changed.
The life expectancy for ALS patients after diagnosis is 2 to 5 years.
It's really devastating. Like, you watch this human that you look back at pictures that was just so full of life and just robust.
Now, a shell of himself physically, Cervik needs a lot of help. The only thing he's focused on, though, is continuing to help others.
I think it shows who he is at the core, how much he cares. How much he wants to have an impact in other people's lives. Sorry. It's tough. It's inspirational, though. Really is.
Rob Cervik is fighting a battle he never saw and can never win.
You have to accept what you cannot change and fight for the things that you can.
But here, in this gym, he'll always have a community to soften life's biggest blows.
I still have a lot to give. I can't spot them and go to meets with them, but I still have knowledge, stick, and as long as I can give that, I'll be happy.
While the life expectancy for someone with ALS is only 2 to 5 years, it's been more than 5 years since Cervik's diagnosis.
Both of his kids, an 11-year-old and 13-year-old, are gymnasts at Aspire, and he says being able to spend that time with them is like gold.
Still ahead, a grueling new treatment pushes a patient to his breaking point.
No matter what's on the other side of this, I just do not want to have to go through this struggle.
Why he endures and the hope others can survive. Our in-depth coverage continues. You can get connected to Investigate TV Plus on all social media platforms.
Sickle cell disease leaves patients fighting debilitating pain and frequent hospitalizations.
To explain what happens, in a healthy person, red blood cells are round, carrying oxygen to all parts of the body. But in someone with the disease, those blood cells are hard and misshaped like a C and can become clogged in blood vessels.
The CDC reports the life expectancy for those with sickle cell disease is more than 20 years shorter than the average person in the U.S. Black people are at highest risk of the disease, as it occurs in about 1 out of every 365 births. But there's new hope for patients. In December of 2023, the Food and Drug Administration approved a milestone treatment known as Lyfgenia.
Reporter Caroline Hecker explains how the therapy has helped a patient in St. Louis regain control of his life.
They all got together and signed this banner.
A little taste of home keeps Martin Mawita Jr. motivated. The 20-year-old from Nebraska found a temporary home in St. Louis, seeking a cure for his sickle cell anemia.
My mom and I we've been, for years really, just been looking for, is there any way out of this?
That out taking shape at Children's Hospital in St. Louis, where a new gene therapy seeks to cure sickle cell patients. Dr. Shalini Shenoy is Martin's doctor. She helped to oversee his gene therapy and the year of tests leading up to it.
Their quality of life right from the time they are teenagers is pretty poor. Missed proms, missed school, missed work hours, everything.
His cells were sent to Bluebird Bio, a biotech company that genetically modifies them. Then he started on high-dose chemo, the effects of which left Martin wondering if it was worth it.
I think there were days, honestly, where I almost felt like it wasn't. I was like, no matter what's on the other side of this, I just do not want to have to go through this struggle.
But he made it. Staff at Children's then reinfused his genetically modified cells back into his bloodstream. This is the moment Martin learned whether it worked.
85% of your hemoglobin is hemoglobin A, yes.
The therapy rid his body of nearly all of its sickle cells.
Seeing the results of it, what it actually means for me to be cured of sickle cell after 20 years, I think it was absolutely worth it looking back.
I just want my taste to come back.
Serenity Cole is hoping for the same success. She just completed the gene therapy and is headed home to recover. But to get to this point, she says she had to overcome a lot of doubt.
The chemo, the possibility of it not working, me already being behind in school and then having to be in the hospital this long.
Both Serenity and Martin will continue to navigate recovery, but are looking forward to life free of sickle cells.
It'll be really nice to finally be able to be home and just live my life.
Doctors will monitor Cole's progress as she recovers at home, but said all signs point to a successful therapy.
Dr. Shenoy is hopeful as technology progresses, chemotherapy can be excluded from the therapy and the cells can be genetically modified while still within the body. Up next, where broken becomes beautiful.
He's had 4 dentals since he's been here. His teeth are so bad.
How one woman became the solution for nearly 100 unwanted farm animals.
According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, misfit means something that fits badly, or a person who is poorly adapted to a situation.
On a farm outside Lansing, Michigan, being a misfit is the only qualification that matters. As farm animals with medical issues, past mistakes, and big personalities are all welcome.
Reporter David Andrews shows us how these outcasts have found their sanctuary.
This is just some of the horses.
On 28 acres just west of Lansing,
right, Willow?
There's a place that caters to displaced farm animals.
These guys are a lot of fun.
There are goats.
This is Casper the Friendly Goat.
Sheep.
And he is a hair sheep.
A horse named Timmy.
He's had 4 dentals since he's been here. His teeth are so bad.
They all have one thing in common.
Yep, they're a misfit.
And this is their forever home. Mitten Misfits Farm Sanctuary. Everyone has a different story.
There's your story.
For Scarlet the pig, it's a story of survival, escaping from the back of a truck heading to the slaughterhouse.
And the woman called and she said, Vic, is there any way you can take her? This pig fought for her life.
The answer was yes, because Victoria Worthy has devoted her life to rescuing farm animals.
They know that they'll come here and they're here forever.
She says her hunger for helping animals in need began in the late 80s, fostering dogs.
And somebody came and saw that we had barns and said, would you take 2 goats? I'm going through a divorce. And I said, why not? That's how it started.
Those two goats led to a menagerie of misfits, now nearly 100 strong, multiplying daily.
We have a couple bunnies, Beardsley and Onyx.
Beardsley and Onyx came here when their petting zoo days were over. It's not just a forever home for four-legged beasts, but also those on 2 feet. Ducks, chickens, geese. You have turkeys?
We have turkeys.
There's Slim, Shady, and Freedom.
Come on out, Freedom.
Every animal here given the liberty to live out their lives, no matter the medical issue. Donations from the community cover all the vet bills.
The generosity of people has just been phenomenal.
Local food banks and grocery stores help out too. So this is food that would be thrown away.
Yep.
But animals can use it.
Absolutely.
Vic says she's absolutely thankful for the nearly 100 volunteers who help with the daily chores.
Well, we couldn't do this without them, without every single one of them.
Whether it's a small horse just here for kicks,
And he will just as soon kick you.
or a herd of sheep rescued from a cruelty case, all are welcome at Mitten Misfits Farm Sanctuary.
I wish I could do more. If we had more space or, more barn and, because there's the need out there.
My favorite part of that story, the pig that escaped, was going to the slaughterhouse, escaped, and gets to live out a full life.
I know, a beautiful life now,
Yes.
on the farm with 100 other misfit animals.
That's right, a lot of them.
They all deserve love.
They do.
Well, that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm T. Chappelle.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Thanks for watching.
On the next Investigate TV Plus, improperly stored firearms pose a significant threat to children, but the harm goes beyond physical wounds.
You're crying over the one that you lost, and then you're trying to love on the one that accidentally did it.
We examine common ground solutions that could save a child's life and hear from the most affected by gun violence.